So if you think positive,
Yes, then what will
uh,
happen if you think positive?
yes, sir. So if you think positive because of photon observation effects, the photon will line up in front of you itself. If you because you're observing them, so it literally come in front of you. So think positive, hard enough, strong enough, and it'll happen. The positivity will come to you.
Alright.
That's what I
Okay.
perceive.
Okay. So we'll discuss all these things, how we can be positive in all our activities, right? Om Ajnanatimirandasya. You can recite after me. Om Ajnanatimirandasya. Jnananjanasalakaya. Chakshurunmilitam Yena. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद. We can chant all of us. We can together chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much for joining, Professor. So let us begin with this. I'll not ask you many questions because we have less time, but I'll tell you all the concepts. So first of all, you have heard this word, right? Be positive many times, but people also don't know what do they want to say when they say be positive. What is the meaning? So these two words have you heard? Optimistic and pessimistic. How many of you have heard of these two words? Right? Optimistic and pessimistic. So optimistic is a person who is always positive in his thoughts, in his actions, right? He always is hoping good. And pessimistic means he always has a negative side. He always think, oh, this is not good, this is not working, like that. So this is the way they think. So why do you think that it is important to have positive thinking, and what will happen if you don't have such attitude, right? If you don't have such positive attitude. So first of all, I will ask you, what do you understand this positive attitude? Have you ever seen a person who is always positive in all his things, positive, hopeful, right? So these are various words. Someone positive attitude will have hope, he will have positivity, he will have faith, appreciation, and love. These things. Many other things can also be there, but these things can be seen in a person who is positive. He will hope good. Okay, maybe this time I failed, but maybe some next time I will make it up, right? I'll do it. And he has faith, faith on himself, faith on God, faith on goodness, all these things, and he appreciates. So one important aspect of positivity is that when you are positive, then you can appreciate the gifts that are given to you, right? So a person who has a negative attitude, he always complains, oh, I didn't get this, I didn't get that, but he never appreciates, right? What is there for me? So this is very important. If you want to develop positive attitude, you must learn how to be grateful for all the things that you get, right? Like that. Okay. So maybe with positive, what are things that they possess, those with positive attitude? Yes, yes, you read this. Yes, listen.
Sir, your voice is glitching, sir. I don't know who you're asking, sir.
I'm asking, is my voice not clear? My voice is not clear?
Now
It is
it is,
not?
sir, but occasionally it glitches,
Okay.
sir.
All right. So listen, can you read this? I think this is not present. Maybe Ditya can read this. Those with positive attitude.
Those
What are the symptoms of those with positive attitude? Yes, spirit.
those with positive attitude have right beliefs, values, and habit, complete faith in God's plan, see opportunity in every situation. They see how to serve the Lord's message in every situation.
Yes. So first, let us have this, right? Have right belief, values, and habit. So now this is very important lesson that you should remember always. So many times, as Dittansu was also saying, that if you think positive, everything positive will happen. So I'll just, I'm not telling you, but this is a common belief in India. I mean, there are many motivational people who say that just be positive, think positive, everything happen will good, everything good will happen. But that is not a fact. Like suppose I'll tell you example. Suppose you are jumping from the 10th floor of a building, right? And after jumping, you are thinking, don't be negative, just think positive, you will not die. So what do you think? Just by thinking positive, he will not die? What do you think? No, because his belief is wrong, because what he's doing is wrong. So there is no question of positive thinking if you're doing wrong or if your belief is wrong, if your values are wrong. So let us suppose give another example. Suppose there is a person who does not study for all the time, the whole year. And then when the day of exam is there, one day before the exam, he's thinking, okay, don't feel negative, just think positive. I'll pass. I have strength, I have capability, I will pass. Think positive. Do you think it will work? This thinking positive will work? What do you think? No. So to have a positive thinking, first of all, what you need? You need to have a right belief system. You need to be established in truth. You need to know what is right and what is wrong. Then there is a question of positive thing, isn't it? So what is the right value? So right value is that you should know your situation. Yeah, correct. Saying that positive thinking cannot make the law of gravity as false, right? Truth is truth. So you have to be rooted in truth. That is why to have positive thinking, the first condition is that you should be grounded in truth, right? Okay. Then second is complete faith in God's plan. The second thing is that even if you are doing everything correct, still something wrong may happen. Then how do you see that? So you need to have complete faith in God's plan, right? So I'll tell you a story how even if something wrong is happening, even though doing everything good, everything correct, still you should not lose faith in God because God may sometimes take us to different situations just to make us learn certain things, right? Then third is see opportunity in every situation. And if you have complete faith in God's plan, then only you can see every problem as a opportunity. You can see every situation as an opportunity, right? And the final one I'll tell you because this is something more difficult, right? Yes. So listen, please read this. Are you there? Can you hear me? Listen. Can you read this? Hare Krishna. Am I
So,
audible?
yes, sir. It's slightly breaking, even, but it's still
Okay,
happening.
let
Even though I do
me-
have internet boost, it's still happening. So maybe it's something related to the internet issues, sir. Also, your video went on. It's back to your video.
Okay. So now let me know if my voice is now better. Is it
Yes,
better
sir.
now?
Yes, sir. It is better.
Better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So listen, can you read this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Please read.
Thoughts have energy. Positive thoughts nourishes. Negative thoughts drain our energy. What does nourish mean?
Yes. Nourish means they feed you positively, right? Nourishing, just like when you water the
Gives
tree, it gets
gives
nourished,
good stuff.
right? Yes, it nourishes you means it strengthens you, it feeds you positively like that. So thoughts have energy. How many of you think that when you think good things, just like suppose you think that someone praises you, or you think that someone you become first in the class. So these thoughts actually make you feel good, and they and sometimes they have a positive effect on you. But suppose you think that you are going in a train and suddenly you fell down. So such thoughts are fearful, right? They drain your energy. So it is very important that you think right things. If you have right thoughts and thinking, how is thinking made? Thinking is made from your belief. Whatever you believe, that you will think, right? So thoughts come from belief, and belief actually then gives you the type of thoughts. So it is very important to have right beliefs in your life, right? So there are some ways I have prepared what you can, the ways in which a person can think. So maybe this right one, you can, what are you doing this in? Okay.
My
So
leg
this
is
one,
somehow tickling me.
okay.
Who's
So
tickling
you
you?
can read this one.
My leg
Huh?
is somehow.
Okay. So can someone read this? What is the thoughts and belief in the red one? These are the thoughts that will make you go weak, right? So these are the thoughts that we should not develop. Please read that.
I am a loser. I can never be successful. I'm weak, unintelligent, poor. I
Yes. So
used to
sometimes
I
people
used
think
to
that,
think
oh,
that sir, at one point, because I had
Hmm.
never won any competition, that was because
Mhm.
as at one point I could not even talk, so I could not ask to enter the competition. So that's why people are
Yeah.
teasing me for that. So at one point I just started to believe that I was weak. I actually started to believe that I was a loser. But then when IEO came, International English Olympiad, I actually got a silver medal for that.
Yes.
IEO
Perfect.
school level, I got silver medal, and that's when I started realizing I'm not a loser. Even today, if I make bugs in my code, I still remember it's a bug. It's not a computer breakdown. I can fix it.
Okay. What happened to Risin? Risin, what is happening to you? What is
My
tickling
leg
you?
is tickling me.
What is tickling?
My
Oh, it's
leg.
probably a mosquito bite.
No, it's not a mosquito bite. It's
What it is?
there's something inside my leg. Something is tickling.
I cannot hear you. Can you write it down in the chat box?
Something is
I can't hear what
tickling
you're
me
saying.
on my leg. Inside.
Who is that?
I think it's something natural. It's a natural cause. I
Okay.
have it.
You're all
I had
right?
it many times. I had it many times. It goes
Okay.
away.
Okay. All right. So we'll continue. Okay. So these are the thoughts that will uh, make you lose, right? Because if you're thinking in that way, you cannot succeed. That is the biggest barrier. And then there are some thoughts like this. Can you read, Ditya? What are these thoughts?
Yes, sir. So 1 minute. I can do it. I have strength, intelligence, and power.
Yes. So these are the thoughts that a person who has belief in himself, who thinks that he can do, he thinks like that. That I have intelligence, I have power, I have influence, I can do it. So these are like the positive thoughts, and these are like the negative thought. But both of them are not the best thought. What is the best thought? Will come here. Yes, please read this one. And why it is the best thought? That also I'll tell you. Yes, Diptanshu, please read this one.
Yes, sir. Best belief is to have complete faith in God. I will try my best and leave the rest on God. God's plan for me is perfect. God is my best friend, and He will surely take care of me if I keep following the right path.
Yes. So many times people think that following God is something for those who don't have any abilities, or it is for those people who don't have any qualities, right? So they will follow God because they don't have any ability, strength on their own, so they will depend on God. No, it is not like that. Actually, suppose you have very good intelligence. Suppose you have got a very, can you hear me? Okay. Suppose you have got a very good intelligence, you have got a very good brain, you have very much money, you are very successful. But can you say that you will be always successful by your efforts? Is it possible? No. Certainly, there will be some times, even by all your best efforts, you cannot succeed, isn't it? Who is a winner all the time? No one is a winner all the time. So in that way, what you will think? If you have strength on yourself, if you think that only you are doing, then at that time you'll become depressed because you'll think that everything I did right, but God made me fail. So it is not correct to think like that. So best belief
Sir, everything is past, sir. Pause, sir. Oh, I'm the host. I'll keep eye on the waiting room.
Okay, my
You can change this. You can change certain house now. You've already changed now. Okay. Good.
yes, my connection was again lost. Okay, so the best thought is that we should understand that we are not the controllers, and therefore, if something wrong happens, we should understand that it is a part of God's plan. And at that time, how do you know that even you did everything right, still why God didn't give you success? You can believe that, and actually this is a fact. God is our best friend. This is a story by which you can understand that sometimes God may give us failures apparently so that we become strong, right? So I just tell you a story, little bit, a brief, right? Okay, and then I will again come back to this discussion, right? Okay, so this is a story of a little girl. I don't know I have told you this story or not, but this is have you heard this story? A little girl traveling in the airplane? No? No. Okay. I'll tell you this story. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who was going in the airplane, and
There's a little girl who was going in the airplane and sir disconnected.
Yes, yes, I had that story. I remember it. I had it in one of these classes of samskara or something like that.
Yeah. Samskara, okay. Yes, sir, making you host, sir. Sir, you're on mute, sir. Sir, you're on mute, sir. Sir, you're on mute, sir. You need to unmute, sir.
okay, yes, thank you. So yes, so this little girl, my connection is unstable. I'll make my video off so that it is okay. Okay, so all right. So there was this little girl, and she was traveling in the airplane, and she was very cheerful, little girl. So, and she was drawing something, and very cheerful. So what happened? Everyone was very happy going in the airplane and doing all the things. But suddenly there was a big sound, a big noise of something mishap in the airplane, right? And suddenly there was a uh, great discussion among all the people. Oh, what is happening? Maybe it is going to have a crash. We are going to crash. And then there was an announcement made by the crew that we are having some difficulty with the airplane, with the engine, and we may need to have a crash landing, right? And everyone was very fearful because you just think that suddenly the airplane is going to crash and you don't know whether you are going to survive or you are going to just uh, what is happening, right? So everyone was very much in anxiety. Everyone was praying to God and doing all kind of things, trying to call or whatever they can do to save themselves or save their loved ones. So it was a complete messy situation. Everyone was shouting, crying, praying to God. All sort of things were happening. And then this little girl, she was not at all in any anxiety, right? She was not at all in any anxiety. She was again the same cheerful girl, and she followed all the instructions. She have her seat belt and everything, but she was not at all in any anxiety. So seeing this, there was a lady who was sitting by the side of this little girl, and she was very confused. She was very confused. How is it that this little girl is not at all anxious? Is she not fearful of the death? What it is? So actually, at that time, she cannot inquire. So, but after the whole situation was settled down and the crash landing was successful, everything was okay. Then this lady approached this girl and asked, "My dear child, I see that all the time we were in so much anxiety, we were so much fearful about our death, but you were not at all anxious. What happened? Don't you fear death?" So, what does she say? Can someone guess why she was not in any anxiety?
He wasn't
Because
in
she
anxiety
trusted God that
because her
because she trusted God that they would arrive safely at their destination.
And
Okay,
knew
but not a correct. Yes, listen want to say
and
something.
she knew that her father was the pilot, so she thought that everything would be fine.
Yes, Ditya, what do you think?
Sir, that I think that girl's father was the pilot, so she had complete faith in her father.
Yes, perfect answer by Ditya and Risen. So this is the answer. So she knew that she had complete faith that my father, whatever may happen, whatever mishap or something is there, but my father is well competent, he is a perfect pilot, and he will save us from this situation. So just by having this thought and faith on his father, she was completely fearless. Now just
Mom, sir,
yes, Risen.
sorry to interrupt, but there was a mistake. Like
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
I was
Yes.
in small letter. In a small letter.
What?
You can do the corrections later.
Okay, you'll tell later.
No, you can do the corrections later. I found some
Okay, okay,
wrong.
okay. So then, what is the lesson from this story? Similarly, God is the controller of all the things that are happening in our life, in your life, and everyone's life. So if you have complete faith that God is your supreme well-wisher and he will not allow anything bad to happen to you, then you can have perfect peace. But if you don't have this conviction, then you will always be in anxiety. Oh, what will happen now? Right? Like that. So this is a statement in Bhagavad Gita. There is a verse which says that who can attain peace? So the peace is for a person who accepts that God is supreme controller and he is your best friend. Right? So two things you have to accept, that God is the supreme controller and God is the best well-wishing friend. Right? Like suppose you come to know that your best friend is the suppose he is the son of President of India. So what do you think? Will you have any anxiety? No, because you know that you have connection to the highest person. So like that. So this faith is very important in God. So even though this faith will be checked, because it is not that all the time the situation will be good. Sometimes the situation may be good, sometimes the situation may be bad. So sometimes when bad times come, people lose faith in God, isn't it? They say that, oh, why God made my business fail? Why God made my son die? So many times people say like that, right? So if we don't have complete understanding of God, then we ask such questions. So I'll tell you this another story that will help you understand the concept. Right? This is a very wonderful story again. So for before that, I'll little bit discuss about some this thing also, some theory that how you should think in this negative ways. Right? Like this. Who can read this?
Negative thinking can kill us in success or failure.
Yes. So negative thinking, either you are in success or you are in failure. In both ways, this negative thinking can kill you. So how it can affect you in success? Please read that. Diptansu maybe.
Yes, sir. What did you say again? Your voice slightly gets a problem on my end. I by mistake
Okay.
switched
So
on.
I'm saying that this negative feeling, they can affect you even in success. So even in
Yes, sir.
success, you can become a
Yes,
victim
sir.
of negative
Yes,
thinking.
sir. Someone can become proud and
Yes.
arrogant.
Yes. Please read that.
I don't care if I'm the best one. I made my success. I don't care for God. Others are unimportant. Everyone should praise me.
Yes. So
And
in
then,
this way, you can think that if
yes,
you are
sir.
successful, you may not give any credit to God, but
Exactly,
actually,
sir.
the whole success does not belong to you, because in success there are so many factors, right? Isn't it? Like the suppose you get the food, right? You get the food. So in making that food, how many people contribute? So many people have contributed. First of all, the farmer, he sowed the seed, isn't it? Then the God provided rains, isn't it? Then there was sunlight, and sunlight made it grow, right? And then after that, the farmer cultivated it for so long, giving proper fertilizer, proper what to say, proper fertilizer, proper water, everything, and protecting it from insects, everything he did. And then after that, at the right time, God didn't allow it to be spoiled by various natural disasters, right? And then after that, there was someone who cut it, and then someone who take it to the mill, someone who maybe did the other processing, and then after that someone bought it for you, your father, and then your mother made it, isn't it? And then you got the food. So just think about it. Just for getting the food, you have contribution of so many people who help you, isn't it? Similarly, in any success that you get, can you tell me any success that you got in your life? Any success?
Yes, sir. For I won my first medal, IEO.
Okay. International English Olympiad, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Suppose you got a first medal. So in that, can you see?
I did not get first, sir. I got second, sir.
Second. Okay, second medal you got. Can you tell me who all people contributed to your success?
My mom, because she got the IEO training books.
Yes, just think,
My
think about that.
grandfather, because he taught me how to read properly and not
Yes,
also read
perfect.
upside down.
Yes, perfect. So your mom, your grandfather, and who else?
My dad, because he
Your
helped
dad.
me with the money to buy the books so that I
Yes.
can read for fun.
Perfect.
And
Who
also
else?
my interest and also myself, because I had an interest in reading books.
Yes, your
But I
own
had the
self.
smallest part. But
And then you can think of many other
and
people.
also
like,
teacher
yes, your
and
teacher,
the
as well.
correction people and
Yes,
the
your correction people. Then someone who wrote the book, let us thank him
Yes.
also.
Yes,
Isn't
sir.
it?
The
presented
module
the book.
writer. The
The
module
Module
author,
writer.
the author, the author.
Author, yes, correct. So just think, so many people contributed to your success. And now suppose after getting the medal, you think, oh, I got the medal and I am the best one. I made all the things, isn't it?
I never thought that, sir.
No, I'm not saying, I'm just giving
You're
example. I
saying,
know you are humble. So just think about it. If someone thinks like that, is it not a fool? So it is said that if you are not grateful, you are grateful, right? I'll write that down so that you understand. If you
Yes,
are
sir.
not grateful,
And also, the only thoughts that are in my head when I got the IEO was, finally, at least now I will not be teased by my classmates for not
Yes.
for being a loser.
yes. So just like this, if you are not grateful for all the things that you get, then you are a grateful. Why? Because this time you may become proud, but later on you will maybe fail, and then who you will blame? So then what happens when you succeed? You think that you made your success, but when you fail, what do you think? You think that God made me fail, isn't it? People think like that. So it is very wrong to think like that, right? So now who can read? Maybe Ditya can read this next one. When you are failure, how do you think? How a person can think who is having negative thinking?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
No question. I'm just saying that when someone has a failure, how can he think? So please read this to understand that.
Oh, God is so cruel. He never helps me. I don't care for him. I will also cheat and do wrong to get to others to get success.
Yes. So sometimes just see this person. When he was successful, he is not giving credit to God. Oh, God is so wonderful. He helped me, isn't it? But when failure is coming, whom he is blaming? He is blaming God. Oh, God is so cruel. I have worked so hard. I worked so hard. Still, he didn't give me success, isn't it? And then he think that, oh, I will also take to cheating and all. I also take to all the bad ways to get success. So this is the way a person can think, right? So Ditya also got gold medal in skating. Oh, wonderful. 2 times. Ja. So you are all very wonderful children. Okay, wonderful. So, all right. So only thing you should remember that even if you get success, you should remember all the people who gave success. And at last, you should remember God, because He is the ultimate one who is giving us all the help. Even as our mother, father, the person who wrote the book, right? And all the people who were there, all the help is actually provided by God Himself through all these people, right? Now I told you this story, and now I'll tell you another story, the next one. So this next story is about a person who was a who was a who used to believe in God, but then God tested him, right? So now let us see how does he respond when the God tested him. Okay, listen, please remove this annotation and this marks. Okay, all right. So push the rock. So I'll make you. Yes. How can we not see God's self? Yes. Sometimes when you become proud, then you may not see God's self. That happens. So you have to very much grounded in reality. You have to grounded in spirituality. Then you can see God in every situation. Okay. So yes, Risin, can you read this? This is story for all of us.
Once
Please
push
read
the
this.
rock.
Yes.
Once
This
a,
is
what is push the rock?
this
You're
is the
gonna
name
push
of this story. Name of the story. Please read that.
Go on.
Once a person was going through a jungle and suddenly he heard a grave voice. Push this boulder up the hill. Looked around. He couldn't not see anyone. Then he saw a big boulder in front of him. Boulder is a huge rock and said, "This is God speaking. Push this boulder up the hill."
Yes. So he heard this voice that I am God is speaking. Please push this boulder up the rock. So what happens next? Let us see. Yes, please continue. Listen.
So he started pushing, and it was so huge he could not even budge it. He thought maybe it is a God's will, so I should do it. So from morning to evening he was pushing. 1 day, 2 day, 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, he was pushing every day,
This guy is supposed to be
and
the
he
pinnacle of.
could not budge the boulder.
Yes. So what happened is actually this boulder was on the way in between the way, right? So he used to go through that way every day. So then he thought maybe it's God's will that he want me to push this boulder off the way, right? So he started pushing, but the whole day he tried, he could not do it. Then next day, whenever he used to cross that way, he used to try pushing that boulder away, but he could not do it at all, right? So after finally, what happened? Please read that. Yes, Diptansu, please read that.
Finally, the person said, "Oh God, you knew I could not do this. Why did you put me in this situation? Why did you tell me to do such a thing?" God appeared. "What happened?" he told him. "What did I tell you?" So he said, "You told me to push the boulder up. So what did you do?" "I pushed it." "Then what's the problem?" He said had not moved at all.
Yes. So now he is becoming little impatient, and now he's complaining that I'm doing this, but I could not do it. Why God told me to do such a thing which I cannot do? But God actually can test us in such ways. So how we should respond and how God thinks in such things? Let us see. Yes, Ditya, please read it. Very important lesson.
Real success. So God said, "I told you to push it. Who told you to move it?" He said, "What do you mean? What is the use of pushing if you do not move it?" God said, "What is the use? Look at your own body." He looked and he had been a skinny fellow, and every day pushing it made him a powerful, muscular fellow with strong biceps and strong thighs. God said, "I did not want to push the boulder up. I wanted to make you strong."
Yes, perfect. So this is how God thinks. When God take us to different situation, He does not want maybe necessarily to succeed, but He may sometimes want us that we become more powerful, we become more mature, right? So that we can succeed later on. So yes, Risin, can you read this moral of the story?
Yes, so the moral of the story is that external success is pushing the boulder up, and the internal success is getting strong muscles. So the external success will come and go. What is important? The internal success.
Yes, perfect. So many times when we don't see the internal success, may we be bewildered when we get failures in our life. So sometimes God actually arranges such failure in our life because He wants that we become internally strong, right? So it is not that all the time you'll get success only in your life. So you should not think that why God is putting me in this situation. You should be able to see the hand of God. That maybe God wants me to fail so that I can learn something. Maybe God wants me to fail so that I can become stronger inside, right? So in that way, we should have faith in God even in difficult situation. And when is that faith possible? That faith is possible only when you actually love God and when you understand that God is your well-wisher. So this is a very famous verse in Bhagavad Gita in which Lord Krishna is telling the same truth. That yes, we'll recite that. And let me just tell you the meaning
Sir,
first.
after the recitation, I have a story about gratefulness that I want to share, sir. It's,
Okay, okay, we'll do that. Yes.
I learned this sloka.
Yes, you have learned that, I know. So, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. Here, Lord is saying to Arjuna that I am Suhridam. Suhridam means someone who is very, very dear friend to you. Suhridam. Hridam is heart. And Suhrid means who is a very dear to your heart. So, Lord is such a friend to all of us. Sarva Bhutanam, not only to Arjuna, he is to Sarva Bhutanam. Sarva Bhutanam means for all living beings. Whether he's a cat, he's a dog, he's an insect, he is a any other being, plant, tree, for every living entity, God is the best friend. He always wishes good for all of them. So if one understands this truth about God, then he can be peaceful in all situations. Just like that little girl was completely peaceful, even though everyone was in anxiety because the plane was going to crash, isn't it? Like
yes,
that.
sir.
So I'll recite this sloka and then I will allow all of you to share the best learning in 2 minutes. So you can prepare a speech, whatever you learned in 2 minutes, and then I will ask you to share. So Diptansh, you can share whatever you want to share, the story along with the presentation, right? Okay, so we'll first recite this sloka. So it goes like that. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheswaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. Right? Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheswaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. I'll recite once again and then you can remember it for the week, the sloka of the week. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheswaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam santim richati. So Lord here is saying, the sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. Right? So this is the lesson. Right? All right. So now you have 2 minutes to prepare for this exercise. Right? So all of you need to prepare whatever is the best thing that you learned today, how you can have positive thinking, what are the various things that a person with positive attitude has, right? So you have 2 minutes to think about it, whatever you want to speak, and then after that we'll have an activity in which all of you can share whatever you want to share, right? For 2 minutes. Okay, Diptansu, Rishin, and Ditya, is it all right? So you can write something, think something, and then we'll have you speak. So do it very quickly.
Sir,
Yes, Ditya.
Sir,
how
can
do
you please
we-
give us 10 minutes, sir, for preparation?
No. The time will
Oh.
go. So you can
Okay.
just whatever you learned in the lesson, you just don't have to imagine or think much. You just whatever you learned.
Because I
prepare.
have a special way of
Okay,
Because
maybe.
I have a special way of presenting stuff. So
Okay, so what you can do, you can be last to present, right? So
yes,
you'll
sir.
get time. So
Yes,
first,
sir.
maybe Risin can speak, then Ditya can speak, and then you can speak. Okay?
Sir,
Yes, Ditya.
sir,
Sure,
I
I
don't
typed
know
it
how to
here and I'll be
prepare.
telling it.
Just
We
a
should
minute,
not
Risin.
be
Let me.
over proud.
Just a minute, Risin. Yes, Ditya, what you are saying?
Sir, I was saying that I don't know how to prepare a speech in like
No
today.
problem. No problem. It is just like a not about among so many people. So you can just think like this. First, give an introduction. What is positive thinking? Then you can give what is the way a positive thinking person thinks. So I put this slide so you can have some idea. These are the ways a positive thinking person thinks, right? And then you can give some examples and you can give the lessons. So first introduce what is positive thinking, then tell what ways a positive thinking person thinks in himself, what are his thought thought values, all these things, beliefs, and then you tell some stories to prove your point, right? So that will make 2 minutes or even more. So like that.
Sir, but like I don't know how to form one speech kind of thing.
No, I told you now. First, you give an introduction. You introduce yourself. I am Ditya. I am from here, and I study in this class. You give a little introduction, and also you introduce the topic. That I am going to speak about positive thinking. So what do you mean by positive thinking? Positive thinking means that a person can think positive even in the midst of most difficult situations. So how is he able to do that? He is able to do that because of these three four things. Because he has right thought, values, and beliefs. He has complete faith in God, and he can see opportunity in every situation. Then I will like to tell you a small story which tells us about this positive thinking, or in which we can learn how to be thinking positively. So this is a story of a small girl who was going in a plane. Like that, you can introduce. To give a speech is not difficult.
Yes,
You just
sir.
need to
Sir,
have.
I will try.
Yes, you can try whatever. Okay, so we have very less time, so you can take 2 minutes and then we'll have this speech. Okay. So yes, please be prepared. You'll be first one to give the speech, right? Don't write it here, Risen. This is not the right way to do. Please write it in some Word file or something, and then you can do, right?
I prepared my speech.
You're done.
Yes. I mean,
Oh.
I've prepared my speech.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe just give me 1 minute. After 1 minute, we'll start. I'll put some kirtan for 30 seconds so that you prepare.
I'm writing in Word while.
Rama Rama Hari 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 Bol.
now we are ready to begin with our presentation, and Risin will be the first one to present us with this. Okay, Risin, so you
Well,
can
I
start.
haven't made a document, Word document or anything like that.
Okay, you can just directly speak. So now we have Risin speaking on positive thinking, whatever he learned from today's session. Yes, Risin, please speak.
Hello everyone, my name is Rishan Sarkar. I study in DPS Megacity, Kolkata. I am 8 years old and I study in grade 3, section C. Now I'm going to tell a story about a girl in an aircraft which was about to crash. In that scene, everybody was anxious, but the girl wasn't. She wasn't anxious because her father was the pilot and she knew that he was going to control everything and it would be a safe landing. In the class, my favorite part was that we could learn that we should not be over proud, and okay, so the lesson of the story was that we that we should not be anxious if we should not be anxious. That can cause trouble.
Okay, thank you, Risin, for.
And
Okay, thank you very much for telling us this beautiful story about this small girl. Right. All right. So now maybe Ditya can present. Whatever you have prepared, you can speak. Nothing to worry.
Sir, but I couldn't think of anything.
Okay, no problem. So whatever you have learned, or whatever is the best part, it is not like anything difficult. Whatever you learned, you can just tell, just like Risin, whatever you learned, it told.
Okay,
Right.
sir.
Please switch on your video.
Okay,
sure, I've got a class now, so can I
Yes.
leave?
Yes, you can leave. Thank you, Risin, for joining today. Hare Krishna.
But can I tell my lesson? Can I
Yes.
tell my favorite parts?
Yes, please tell.
That we learned that we should not be over proud, which can spoil us
Yes.
and cause a lot of trouble.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I just forgot that part.
Okay.
But
So
I need to go to another meeting.
Yes, you can leave. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye. You can tell us the best point in the maybe WhatsApp, whatever you learned best part, I'll send you. Okay.
I tell you that.
Yes, you can tell me there whatever was the best lesson you
Okay.
learned.
Okay,
Bye.
sir. Okay, sir. Bye, sir.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Ditya, now you can speak.
Sir, I learned that if
Please introduce yourself first.
Sir, my name is Ditya. I'm studying in class 5 in Chrysalis High. And today I'm going to speak a few lines about positive attitude. A person with positive attitude will not blame God. And in success, he or she will not think like I'm the best, like no one else is good and all. So
Yes.
that's all.
Okay. Anything else that you want to tell about the stories, whatever the stories you heard? What are the lesson of the story that you can tell? Pushing the boulder up. What are the lesson?
Sir, I learned in the other story
Hmm.
that we should have faith.
Yes, faith on.
Faith on God.
Yes, God and God's plan for us. Understanding that He is our best friend and whatever plan He has is for our own good. Maybe I'm not able to see now how it is good, but later on it has some meaning, right? Like that. Yes. So yes, perfect. Thank you. So now maybe Diptansu can present. Diptansu, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Just about 30 seconds, sir.
Okay, all right. So one more thing I'll tell you by that time that once in a speech, you know about Steve Jobs, he was telling that actually I went through so many things in my life. So at that time, it didn't make any meaning in my life, why it is happening. But now, after 20, 30 years, now when I see back that why those things happened, now I can understand that there was a perfect plan of God in all those situations, right? To make me a successful person. So that we can see after we had passed through it. While we are passing through it, we cannot see how it is a hand of God. But later on we can see. Right? Okay, perfect. Now Diptansu can share what is.
Yes, sir. Just
Please introduce yourself and then again you can speak. Okay.
Yes, sir, just a second,
Yes.
sir. I'm almost
Okay.
done.
Okay. Take your time. Then we will.
Background color, perfect. And key tag.
Also, what is the way by which we can develop such positive thinking? There is a very easy way. If you simply become a devotee of Lord, then automatically you can develop such things. And it is very easy to do so by regularly chanting the names of God. Just like we chant in the beginning, in the prayers, you can chant every day. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So by that you can very easily develop positive thinking because you have
Sir, I
faith
have
in
a
God.
doubt.
Yes, please tell.
So, but if we chant this Hare Krishna
Yes.
like every day, then
Yes.
how do we know that? How do we know that we became a devotee of God?
Yes. So you'll automatically, what is the meaning of devotee of God? A devotee of God can see God in all situations and he is a lover of God, right? So if you do so, so many times it is very inconceivable, right? Like sometimes if I say to you that mango juice, oh, how does it taste like? Or mango, how does it taste like? So you may say it tastes very sweet and it is very delicious, something like that. But unless you taste it, you cannot understand, isn't it? So I can give you a theory class of an hour. How does a mango taste like? But will you be able to experience? No. Similarly, unless you yourself chant, you will not be able to understand. But how we can know? We can know from the example of those people who have already done it. And who are the example? Just see the life of any person who has chanted the names of God. Just like see Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad was just a small boy, isn't it? And how he was able to be so positive. His father himself was trying to kill him, but still he was so positive. How? Because he was always in connection to God. Chanting the names of God actually brings you to connection to God. You can appreciate God in life. You can see that how God is helping you in all situations, right? Like that. But one who is oblivious of God, because he's not chanting the names of God, he cannot understand how God is helping me in my life. So he thinks that, oh, God is not caring for me, God is so cruel. But when one is in connection with God, he is always positive because God is so happy, God is so positive, right? Okay. So Diptansu, are you ready? We need to
Yes,
wind
sir.
it
It's
up.
not working, sir. So
All
I'll
right,
just tell
whatever
it.
you can do. Yes. So please introduce yourself first, and then whatever you want to speak, please speak.
Yes, sir. I am Diptanshu Rai. I am from Chennai and I am presenting a story from Japan that teaches us why we should be grateful to God. Mm. So, this story is called as The Stone Cutter, I'll be telling why I liked this session a lot at the end. So as I was saying, the story is called The Stone Cutter. So once upon a time in Japan, there is this stone cutter who was very dedicated to his work. So one day, a cloud spirit saw him and was shocked at his dedication and really appreciated it, and said that he would fulfill every single wish of his on command. The stonecutter wished to be a rich stonecutter at once because he had a client who was a rich stonecutter, and he became that. He then faced poor people begging him for money, and also his life wasn't that good. So then he wanted to become a lord, a king of sorts, and 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 then he saw the king, and also poor people are still around him begging for money, and it became quite irritating at this point. So then he wanted to become the king because obviously if you are the king, then you can keep people away from you if you want. Your wish, your command, your command is everybody's wish. So he wanted to become the king, but as he was touring the outside one day, he found out that his silken clothes are really itchy when he started sweating, and it was really really uncomfortable. So then he wanted to become a god, and uh, and then he was made a god. But he had so many responsibilities, it was really stressful for him. So then he wanted to become a mountain, so that he can stay like that for thousands upon thousands of years, and yet remain great, and not have any bodily defects and everything. So he became a mountain, but then with over thousands of years, stone cutters were chipping at him, and he became an insignificant little hill at one point. So then his final wish from the cloud spirit was to become a stone cutter again, as he was before, and lived again for the rest of his life. So God, he puts you in positions that you will find most comfortable. So don't, criticize his decisions. He always means good for everybody. And the reason why I liked this session a lot was because I could really relate to it. I'm not arrogant, as they said, as the slide said, but it really taught me a lot more about positive thinking and all of its benefits.
Thank you, Diptansu, for sharing wonderful story. And it was not for you, and I was just telling you example. So it can be with anyone, with me, with Risin, with all of us. It can happen that when success comes, we may forget God and the help of all
Yes,
those
sir.
people. Not for you. Don't take it personally.
Just saying.
So I know you're a perfect boy.
I'm
Okay.
not that perfect.
So, but you're trying to be. That is
Yes.
also perfect. Okay, so very wonderful. So thank you very much for joining today. We don't have much time, but I wanted to maybe chant for some time, because this is the way we can develop positive thinking, right? So maybe we'll not take much, we'll just chant for 2 minutes, right? So chanting
sir.
is a very easy way by which we can appreciate God in our life, right? So we'll chant for 2 minutes. So you
Yes,
can
sir.
just close your eyes and try to listen to the name. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद. Let us chant together. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much for joining today. So we'll meet again. So
Yes,
what
sir.
you can
Thank you,
do
sir.
is, if you want, you can just take the time and prepare your speech and share it in the WhatsApp, whatever the best thing that you learned, so